In this video, we're going to talk about titration of a weak acid with a strong base. In class, we talked about strong with strong, and now we're going to talk about weak acid with a strong base. When you go to do these problem solvings, there's going to be really two major steps. The first one is we need to do some stoichiometry, meaning we need a BCA table. Basically, what we want to figure out is how much of our weak acid will be left after we've added our strong base. So we're going to do a BCA table to figure that out. Once we figure out how many moles of our weak acid is left behind, then we have to divide it by the total volume, meaning the mixture of volumes from the weak acid that was already in the container plus how much or how many milliliters or liters of strong base we added. So we had to add those together. Step 2 is once we figure out how much weak acid is left, then we're just going to do an ice table like we've been doing all the time and setting that equal to the Ka value of that weak acid. So let's go through and try a sample problem. So we have a sample problem here where we've got acetic acid and we're going to be titrating it with sodium hydroxide. And we want to figure out what is going to be the pH initially. Then we're going to do some problems after we've added 25 milliliters, 50 milliliters, and 60 milliliters of NaOH to the solution. We have a Ka value, which means that we can set up an equilibrium expression and solve for our concentration of H+, which can get us to pH. So let's give this problem a try. So we're going to set up our ice table. The reason why we didn't do a BCA table to begin with is because the only thing that we're going to have in our solution is going to be this 50 milliliters of our 0.1 acetic acid, because initially means before we've added any base. So we're going to have all of our 50 milliliters of our 0.1 molar acetic acid available. So we're going to put our concentrations into our BCA table. We're going to have 0.1 molar acetic acid, and we're going to have none of our conjugate base yet because we haven't added any base to it, and this is not a buffered solution, so we don't have any there, and then we don't have any H+ to begin with. So then the next thing that we need to do is look at our change, so minus x plus x plus x. So we're going to assume x is small, so we're going to say that at equilibrium we have about 0.1 molar acetic acid left. We're going to solve our equation using our equilibrium expression here. So we get x squared over the initial concentration. X is equal to 0.0013. Which is also our hydrogen ion concentration. So to get to pH, we just need to take negative log of that value. So when we do that, our pH comes out to be 2.87 to start with. So this is before we've added any base. So our next example problem, now we will have added base. We're going to add 25 milliliters of NaOH to our solution. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how many millimoles of our acid that we have. We do that by taking milliliters, so that came from our initial problem where we had 50 milliliters of our 0.1 molar solution. So that's going to be 5 millimoles. And to that, we're going to add 25 milliliters of 0.1 NaOH. So 25 times 0.1 is 0.25 millimoles. So now we're going to do our BCA table. So before the reaction takes place, we have 5 millimoles of our acetic acid, and to that we're going to add 2.5 millimoles of hydroxide. So hydroxide is going to be our limiting reactant, so we're going to use that all up. So we're going to subtract 2.5 millimoles from each one of these, and that's going to create 2.5 millimoles of our acetate ion, our conjugate base. So again, our limiting reactant is the hydroxide, so all that base is going to be neutralized. We're only going to be left with half the millimoles of our acid, or weak acid, and we are now going to have 2.50 millimoles of our acetate ion. So at this point now we are going to be a buffered solution because we have weak acid and we have its conjugate base. So now that we've done BCA, we know the initial moles that we're going to have of acid in our solution as well as conjugate base. Then we need to convert millimoles back to molarity. So we're going to have to take the total volume. So we had 50 milliliters from the acid, and to that we added 25 milliliters of base, meaning our total volume now is going to be 75 milliliters. So again, we're going to take our millimoles of acid, we're going to take our total volume, so the 50 milliliters of the acid plus the 25 milliliters of base that we added in there. And so our new molarity, our new concentration for our weak acid is 0.033 molar. We're going to do the same thing for the conjugate base, our acetate ions. So 2.5 millimoles divided by our total volume, 75 milliliters, so 0.033. So now we're going to take these new values and we're going to put them into the ice table. So now that we've done BCA, we're going to go to our ice table and put in those values. We can do it that way, or our other way that we can do it is using our Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So we're going to take negative log of our Ka value, so this is essentially our pKa, and then we're going to add it to the log of our concentration of our acetate ion, so our conjugate base, over the concentration of our weak acid, and we end up with a pH of 4.47. The other way you could solve this is you could do an ice table, plug in your values, our new initial values, and solve for X. So we're going to do this after 50 milliliters is added. So again, we have to do a BCA table. So we're going to set up our BCA table, and to do that we need to know how many millimoles. So just like we did before, 50 milliliters of our acid times its molarity tells us 5 millimoles. This time we're adding 50 milliliters of NaOH, so 50 times 0.1 is 5 millimoles. Hopefully you notice that we are going to have equal number of moles. So this reaction is going to go to completion. We're going to have 0 millimoles left over. All of this is going to our conjugate base. So we're going to have 5 millimoles of our conjugate base. And hopefully you realize that this would be our equivalence point, the point where we have the same number of moles of acid and base. So the amount of hydroxide is exactly equal. This is the equivalence point. The major species that we're going to have present is going to be a ton of sodium ions. We're going to have lots of our conjugate base and water. And because of this, so sodium is the conjugate of a strong base, so it will have no acidic properties, no effect on our pH. Acetate is the conjugate base of the weak acid and will therefore act as a weak base. So now we need to figure out what our pH will be. So we're going to come back to our ice table. So we need to know our concentration of our acetate ion. So we're going to take our 5 millimoles over our total volume, so 50 from the acid, 50 from the base, and we're going to have 100 milliliters. So our new molarity of our conjugate base is 0.05, our acetate ion. So we're going to put this into an ice table. So water doesn't matter. We are going to have our conjugate base concentration, and we're going to have 0 and 0. So what's going to be acting in the solution, we're going to have a pH other than 7 when we have a weak acid strong base titration, because we're going to have all of this conjugate base left over, which is going to interact with our water. So our conjugate base is going to steal hydrogens from water to make hydroxide ions. So hopefully you predicted that the solution is going to be a little bit basic because we have this conjugate base concentration floating in our solution. So our change minus x plus x plus x, so at equilibrium we have approximately 0.05 molar acetate ions, XX, so we're going to put that to our equation. So our Kb for this, so we have to calculate Kb, which is for our hydroxide because we're solving here. So we're going to take our Ka value, convert it to Kb using this equation here. So Kb times Ka is equal to 1.0 times 10 to the negative 14th. So converting that to Kb, so here's our Kb value, is equal to x squared over our initial concentration. When you do that, we're solving for x. X is hydroxide in this case instead of H plus ion concentration. So we're going to find our pOH by taking negative log of our concentration of hydroxide. When we do that, to get to pH, we're going to go 14 minus the 5.28, and we end up with a pH at the equivalence point of 8.72, slightly more basic. Normally, so in the last time when we had strong acid, strong base, our pH at the equivalence point was 7 because there was no conjugate base of a weak acid in the solution. So we're going to have a slightly basic pH. Actually, this is a little more than slightly basic. We're going to have a basic pH at the equivalence point. So pH at the equivalence point when we titrate a weak acid with a strong base is not 7. It's always going to be greater because we're going to have a concentration of conjugate base. And if we remember that the conjugate base of a weak acid is stronger than water. So therefore, it's going to interact with water and steal its hydrogens, forming some hydroxide ions in our solution. So let's try the next one. So after 60 milliliters of 0.1 molar NaOH is added, so here's our reaction. We're going to have our 5 millimoles of our acetic acid, that's what we started with, and this time when we add 60, so 60 times 0.1, we're going to have 6 millimoles. So this time it's going to be our acid that is our limiting reactant. We're going to use up all the acid. We're going to have 1 millimole of hydroxide ions left over, and then 5 millimoles of our acetate ion. So both sodium hydroxide and our acetate ion, our conjugate base, are left over. So NaOH is a strong base and will dominate the reaction. So no equilibrium calculation required. The pH is going to be determined by the amount of hydroxide ions that are there. We don't need to worry about this weak conjugate base in the solution. So to find the pH, we need to use the concentration of the NaOH. So we're going to take the number of millimoles of hydroxide ions that were left over. We're going to put it over the total volume, which comes out to 0.0091 molar. So then we're going to take negative log of that to get our pOH. Then we're going to subtract that from 14 to get our pH of 11.96. So taking a look at this overall, if we plot our points for this titration, you'll see here's our titration curve against pH. The pH will always be greater than 7 when we take a strong base, weak acid titration. So when we titrate a weak acid with a strong base, so slightly greater. So here we can see it's almost 9.